Hey everybody, Corey here of Kessel Run Transmissions, and today, very unexpectedly, Lucasfilm dropped a trailer for the final season of Star Wars The Clone Wars, which of course concludes on its 7th season, and there is so much to break down in this trailer, but today's video is going to basically focus on all the Easter eggs seen in the trailer, rather than a full breakdown of every shot in the trailer. It's just going to be things that are you guys might not have caught on the first time watching, because there is a lot. And I mean a lot. If you're a clone fan, you're going to want to watch this. If you're a fan of Star Wars Rebels, you're going to want to watch this because there is a ton of Easter eggs throughout this trailer, which can have big indications for the final season. So we're going to start with this first shot I have here, which is something very basic. It's not really an Easter egg, but just a look at the updated outfits of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Mace Windu. As you can see, they're in their Revenge of the Sith getup, so they no longer have any clone armor on, and this is a shot from the Bad Batch, which I cannot wait to see fully animated. Mace and Obi look so cool, and you see the clones around. We've got Mace Windu's battalion with him and the 212th with Obi-Wan, and this scene in the Bad Batch is fantastic. If you guys have seen the just the reels of the Bad Batch, you'll know what I'm talking about, but I cannot wait to see this fully rendered. So this next shot has a ton of Easter eggs sprinkled throughout here. I mean, this is probably the biggest shot for Easter eggs. It's this wide shot of the Jedi and the clones all in this briefing room. But if you can notice, right next to Aayla Secura, we've got Commander Bly in his Phase 2 armor, and we have not seen Bly since Season 1 of the Clone Wars, so it's so cool to see him back. Who knows if he's going to have any speaking roles or if he's going to do anything other than just stand there. We don't know, but it's really cool to see Bly. Unfortunately, we do know what this entails for Aayla, though, in a couple of days when he guns her down in Revenge of the Sith. But we also have Ki-Adi-Mundi there with his clone commander, of course, Bakara. We have not seen him in Clone Wars yet, so that's super exciting to see him there. I do wonder if he's going to have any speaking roles, but he looks really cool in animated form, and I'm super stoked to see him. But probably the biggest thing in this whole shot is we've got Caleb Dume and Dippa Balaba. Of course, Caleb Dume is Kanan Jarrus from Star Wars Rebels, and it's really cool to see him here with his master. I do wonder if we're going to get a sequence of Order 66 that doesn't just show Ahsoka's experience through it, but maybe we will see fully animated Caleb Dume having to run from the clones. I think that'd be really cool. We also, of course, get Plo Koon in his full Jedi robes, and Mace Windu and Yoda. And in this same scene, Mace Windu says, "I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi," which of course is something he says in Revenge of the Sith, with Yoda following up by saying, "Careful we must be," and that is of course another line from Revenge of the Sith. So it's pretty exciting that we're going to get Revenge of the Sith tie-ins, it seems like, in the final arc of the Clone Wars. This next shot here is actually something that my buddy Ross brought up to me. It looks very reminiscent of Mygeeto, and the 501st also seem to be there, so it's kind of interesting to see what's going on here. We see the octopus droids, which we haven't seen, I think, since Season 1? I cannot recall seeing them in maybe Season 2, but it's been a long time since we've seen them, and we do know they are very present on Mygeeto, so it would not shock me if we might get an extended Order 66 sequence with Ki-Adi-Mundi, though of course the 501st is on the planet. Now this might also be Kessel as well, because Obi-Wan and Anakin have visited Kessel in the past in Season 6, and this does kind of look like that surrounding as well, and we know Ahsoka's going to go there, so we'll see. But if it is Mygeeto, oh my god, that's going to be incredible. This next shot is just absolutely heartbreaking, but we see what appears to be Ahsoka sensing Order 66 in the Force. Now, this is not, certain, but I would certainly think that that's what's going on here. She seems very disturbed, not sure what's going on, and it does look like Order 66 is going to occur on the Venator ship, which I think is interesting, because originally I think it was supposed to happen on Mandalore, so maybe some tweaks happened, but it does look like Order 66 for Ahsoka will happen on the Venator, and of course it seems like Maul is going to be on the ship as well, so maybe they captured him and he escapes. Who knows? This is really intriguing, but it definitely looks like Ahsoka is sensing Order 66 through the Force, or at least something deeply disturbing. This next shot, we get a very serious and concerned-looked Obi-Wan Kenobi. It does look like he's on that same planet that we saw in the earlier shot, so is this Mygeeto, or is this a different planet that he's on? Who knows? It would be strange if he was on Mygeeto, but that might be the case. I don't recall the shot from the Bad Batch, so I don't think it's a part of that, but it's something to note that this might be Obi-Wan on Mygeeto, but we'll see. This is very much a blink and you'll miss it shot, but if you guys remember Garr Saxon from Star Wars Rebels, it seems like he's going to be appearing in the Siege of Mandalore, because we have a shot of one of Maul's Mandalorian super commando captains, which is, of course, Saxon, and he looks like he's pointing a sniper rifle up at the gunships. Saxon was actually also in the Son of Dathomir comic, so it's cool that we'll see him in Siege of Mandalore, which would make the most sense. And then, of course, we end up seeing him later on in Star Wars Rebels, so hopefully the same voice actor comes in and voices Saxon here, which would be really, really cool. And I love that helmet design. It looks absolutely phenomenal. Another indication that we're literally going to see events from Revenge of the Sith is Anakin and Padme seeing each other. Padme is clearly pregnant here, and I'm going to assume this is a shot during the events of Revenge of the Sith, or else Anakin's blind. So we'll see, because Padme is clearly pregnant, and they're having a moment, and it's insane that we're nearing the end of the show and seeing events from Revenge of the Sith played out in the show as well. And I gotta imagine this is gonna either take place right before Revenge of the Sith or during it. Hopefully during it, because again, Anakin would be blind if he doesn't see his wife put on some weight there. I firmly believe that this right here, this shot of all these ships in space, the space battle, is the beginning of the Battle of Coruscant, which I think is a given for the final season. I think we'll see the ground battle of the Battle of Coruscant as well on Coruscant. That's something, of course, we got in the Clone Wars micro series that would be absolutely phenomenal to have in this finale for this show. I can't wait to see Anakin and Obi-Wan hopefully getting an indicator that they have to book it and go help save the Chancellor. And it does look like we're going to see the beginning of that space battle, which is awesome. I didn't know if they would take those steps to do that, but it does look like they will. And I can't. And again, this might not be the Battle of Coruscant, but I'm pretty certain that it is. This next shot of Obi-Wan Kenobi in hologram form, I saw a lot of people on Twitter theorize that this might be his message and warning to the Jedi that we also see in Star Wars Rebels, which I do think is probably the case. It would make the most sense. This does kind of mirror that shot that we've seen in Rebels, just in Clone Wars animation format, which is awesome. Of course, Obi-Wan warns all surviving Jedi not to return to the Jedi Temple, where they'll be ambushed, and I think that's what we're going to see here. So that's really cool. I can't wait to see Clone Wars Obi-Wan giving that message. This next shot really does break my heart, but it does look like we're going to see the death of Clone Trooper Jesse in the final arc for Siege of Mandalore, which makes the most sense because we see Maul is clearly torturing him. So here's my theory, right, is Jesse's eyes seem to be flickering, or at least bugged out, the same way the Tups were when he executed Order 66 prematurely. So I'm thinking that Maul has no idea what's going on. He must be, on the Venator as Order 66 goes down. He's probably trying to question Jesse as to what's going on, and Jesse won't let up because obviously I think Maul would be a part of Order 66. As Ahsoka's not a Jedi, she is Force sensitive. There might be a confusion there of them going after Maul as well. And so I think Maul is very confused trying to figure out what's going on. And he probably tortures Jesse. Jesse probably can't take, the combination between Order 66 going on in his mind, his own, mind, and of course Maul torturing him. And then this next shot is Ahsoka kneeling down holding his hand. So I think, unfortunately, Jesse is going to die, which is fitting for his character. He kind of has to. But I am glad that they're actually acknowledging him. Because I was worried that he would just be sidelined for the finale, but no, it seems like he's probably going to have a prevalent story, and that's awesome because he's really, aside from Rex, he's the last remaining Torrent Company trooper, and the last trooper we lost, of course, was Fives, and we know that Kix has been basically jettisoned into the unknown regions by Count Dooku since he cracked Order 66 early, so we're probably not going to see him in the finale, but yeah, we're going to definitely lose the last of Torrent Company. Darth Maul's pose when he's about to fight Ahsoka is the same pose he uses in The Phantom Menace. And if you'll notice, one of his lightsaber hilts is also Asajj Ventress's hilts from Dark Disciple. So I don't know if that indicates that they're just reusing material that wasn't used on screen, or if that means that's actually Ventress's hilt. I highly doubt it. But of course, on the cover for Dark Disciple, Ventress is holding that hilt. So it's a little bit confusing since that is canon. But how crazy would it be if Maul somehow gets a hold of her hilts? Like, that would be insane. And the motion capture for Maul here looks phenomenal. It just, everything flows so well. All right, guys, that concludes all of the Easter eggs I found in the final season trailer for the Clone Wars. If you guys saw anything else in particular that you want to mention that I didn't in the comments, please let me know, because I'm sure I missed a couple of things here and there. But I also have a full breakdown of the trailer here on the channel that's probably going to be around 30 to 45 minutes long, which is a complete breakdown of everything. And by the time this video is out, that might already be out. If not, it is going to be live tonight, which is the day the trailer is released at 8 p.m. Eastern. But I'm assuming this video will go out after that. But yeah, definitely check that out and let us know what you think of the Clone Wars final trailer. It is really crazy to me that we're finally here. We're finally getting the final season. Clone Wars is back. We're going to get 12 epic weeks of episodes, and I, for one, cannot wait to see what Dave Filoni and the cast and crew have put together. I mean, we've waited 2 years for this to happen. I mean, in reality, almost 7 since the show was canceled. So here we go. We're going to get the finale, and we plan to cover as much of Clone Wars content as we can on this channel. I have a lot of exciting original Clone Wars content coming to the channel in the next few weeks, including a collaboration I'm doing with my friend Ross, MGF Customs, and a collaboration I'm doing with a lot of fans of the show. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.